Today I'll be showing you how I clean out my EPS-16 Plus and my rack mount ASR10. I cleaned my other EPS Plus out, but I forgot to do the video, so I decided to do this video for you guys. First thing you want to do is put it on the stand. Get your hex set. I think I used the number 2. And all you're going to do is just do these screws here. 4 screws. And then the top lifts up. Get you a damp cloth. Make sure you wring it out real good. I don't use no soap or nothing on mine. Wring this thing out real good. You don't want no water dripping down in the unit. Alright? You get your air compressor or some compressed air in a can. I prefer air compressor. Saved up some money. This ran me probably about $100. Caught it on sale, and it came also with a nail gun thing, and with it too. What you got to do is do not set your regulator up to 100 or 60. The higher the number on this regulator, the faster that air goes out. So I set mine between like 20 and 30. And that gives me enough air. Not hard, but you know, real soft blowing of air. Alright? I'm about ready to open it up. Just go ahead and unscrew the screws. Going to require 2 hands to do it. You thinking you're going to break something, but all you got to do is kind of pull it forward and then lift it up on both sides. And here we are. Not that bad. It is not that bad. This here don't have no scuzzy. Some trash and all that down in there. So what I'm going to do is, normally when I blow out my equipment, I'm going to take off this connector, a couple connectors. I'm going to take a couple connectors off that I can get off by hand. I'm not using no needle nose pliers or nothing. But before I do that, I'm just going to blow all this out. It's working fine. But I like to blow all these out and then wipe off the connectors, wipe off the other connectors there. I just wipe stuff off with my finger. I don't use no rag or nothing. I blow all down in here, and then when I blow this, I blow this way. So basically, you get you some compressed air. And I'm just gonna show you real quick what I start off with. The first thing I do is I come around this way, and I just go ahead and blow. Right there. You don't want nothing too heavy. Run it down on all the crap. Run it down in there. Run it down in there. Alright. Come over here, do the same side. of the things that you need to keep in mind is some people might just go over it one time. You gotta keep like you sweeping it. So I'll go here, get underneath here with the compressor, right? I'll just keep going back and forth. I'll get all up in there. And if you look down there closely, it wasn't no dirt down there, but now I gotta find a way to get this out. So I gotta keep blowing. Try to blow it in the corner or something. Could just turn it upside down, but I wouldn't advise that. So I'll just blow back underneath here again. Now I'm gonna tell you, the last thing I normally blow out is the drive. I do that last, but I don't know if you probably could see that, but as I kept sweeping back and forth, when I go underneath here, it pushes dirt out. I noticed it was a spider web up in there. So you kind of hit everything and then you have to go back. You could use a vacuum cleaner to suck so when you blow out, it'll catch the dirt. I wouldn't advise that, and I'm not going to advise that because you might hit something on here and it's kind of hard. You know, you don't want to you want to kind of be focused on what you're doing. So just keep blowing, and then eventually you won't see no more dust coming out of there. So I'm going to go one more sweep, and then I'm going to hit the drive. So I'm just going to sweep one more time. And then I'll do the same for this side here. Just keep in mind when you're taking these off, don't force it. You wiggle it a little bit. that's basically really it. You know, if you can get what I was talking about with these ribbons, right? You see how this ribbon, when you push this down, it connects to the wire. So sometimes corrosion will build up in here. So if you ever have a problem, you just have to reset the ribbon, so you'll move it up. You'll cut that piece, a little piece off. You might not even have to cut it off. Just slide it up and then reset it, and then it'll give you a new connection on all of them, on any one. But it's going to take some time. You just can't go in and just rip it apart, because these things are very delicate, very fragile. So you have to be careful. Like, I want to take this up, pull this up, and clean this underneath here, but it's real snug. So what I'm going to do is, and I don't even want to hold the camera in my hand like that. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to attempt to wiggle it without holding the camera in my hand. But something's telling me just leave it like it is. It's cool. It still works. The same thing over here. Any connector that I can wiggle, I'm gonna wiggle it. I'm gonna wiggle it on out of the thing. See how I wiggle that out? Came right on out of there, right? So now what I'll do is I'm gonna blow this out, put some compressor air up in there, and I'll just take my fingers on these and clean that off. And I'll blow that as well. You follow me? And same thing for this one. I'm gonna do the exact same thing for that. And then I'm gonna try to wiggle this one out right here. But it looks like it's not coming, because I don't want to snap the board. Anything that I see that I need to pull out, that I can pull out, I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna clean it off and reconnect it. And then I'm done. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it down with a damp cloth lightly, and then I'm gonna dry that off. I'll let you see it when it's done, when it's finished, okay? If you can see, it's been a little dirty. It's been a long time since I cleaned it, but it was time. Well, actually, I bought another one last week, right? And when I bought it from the gentleman, it worked fine at the studio, right? When I brought it home, I kept getting an Air Reboot 139. So I was upset. So I waited the next morning, figured out what I was going to do. And what I did, I came in, I blew the whole thing. I did exactly what I'm showing you here on this one. And after I did it, cleaned it all up, I did the same thing with the dry. I'm doing the exact same thing. And it's working fine now. Just something that simple. And I got that from, I think my man name is Sound Dreamer on YouTube. I'll put it down in this description. I think it's Sound Dreamer. And the guy's real knowledgeable about EPS-16. I learned a lot from him. I've always had this for a long time, but when I watched his videos, it made me more sufficient in learning more. He kind of forces you to want to learn, not just do the same stuff you always done with the machine. And after I watched his videos, oh my God, like I've learned so much from this guy, and I really appreciate him. And I'm giving him a shout out. I think his name is Sound Dreamer. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning up them connectors and close it up. So now what I'm doing, I got me a very damp cloth here, and I'm just gonna go down each key. I'm gonna go down each key, and I'm gonna wipe. I don't use no soap, just water. You probably could use a mild detergent, but I don't want nothing to fade or nothing. And I'll just go ahead and wipe it. show you the difference. Between this side and this side. See the difference? Even all up in here, look. Cleaning it out makes a great difference in it. I think it responds better too. Maybe it's just me. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish knocking the rest of this out. But you get the point. I don't need to film that. But got all the dirt out of there. And what I'm going to do, these things get very hot. I'm gonna take this back panel off right here. This is where the SCSI go at. I'm gonna take this off. I think there's some screws on the other side. And I'm gonna leave that open to allow air to get in here. You don't never want to blow. People, I've seen people, they use a fan and they put a fan on there. You blowing in, all you doing is blowing in air, still hot air, and you still gonna make it even hotter. So if anything, you need to find something that can blow out of the unit. Don't blow it back in, because the hot air is trying to get out, and you're blowing it. You're putting fans on it, and then for condensation reasons, I don't like to put nothing on there, because if that was the case, they would have put a big old fan in here. But I left mine on for weeks, and it was hot, but not hot. If it get too hot, you need to check something out. And this will conclude this video. This is it. Cleaned it all up. Looking spotless. Keys all cleaned up. Every nick and cranny. Cleaned it up real good. Alright. Got all the dust out. I'm gonna let it sit open for a minute. Maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. And like I told you, I removed a piece back there. I was just doing the knowledge on it. This piece back there was in the back for the SCSI. So I was like, okay, if I remove this, I'll get more air in there, right? Makes sense. So I did that. Remember when I told you, when you pull this up, just kind of pull. I need to use 2 hands. Kind of push on this up, because it's like it's on the latch underneath there. But you're not going to break it if you push on it. You don't want to push too hard. But it come right out. But like I said right here, I remove that piece.